Alright, so now we'll go for the next tutorial. This is Vikas, and in this one we'll talk about the basic NumPy operations, because we have already seen in the last tutorial that NumPy is used for the mathematical calculations, but in Python usually we can do this calculation. But what is the requirement of NumPy? So we'll write, first rename this. This is for the NumPy and matplotlib intro. Okay, this is NumPy and matplotlib intro. So the very first step, always we have to check the current working directory. And why I am always checking this current working directory, because I have a very bad habit of keeping the items in um, unorganized manner. So that's the reason, if I want to check any file or folder, so always I now I wanted to make it in a separate folder, so that whenever I want to access it, I can access it. Otherwise, if it would be available inside a folder where lots of files in important programming files are available, so at that time I won't be able to find the specific files or folders, right? That's the reason. So always I have to check the current working directory in this case also. So what we have to do, we have to import OS, then os dot get cwd. And why I am showing this, because I request all of you to always inculcate this habit whenever you are using this Jupyter notebook, and thereafter you are checking. So please find the current working directory. Once you have found the current working directory, then we have to use the NumPy first, right? But what is the need of NumPy? First I'll show you something. This is list1. List1 is nothing but list, it's a kind of data type, okay? And this is the list2, which contains actually series of values, okay? So I have considered this as a list1 and list2. Now if I want to access the list1, I'll just execute. It will show 1 2 and 3. If I want to access list2, it will show 1 2 and 4. Let's make it as a 4. Okay, so I'll again execute this, then I'll again execute this, then see this. Yeah, now it's look good, because I just wanted to make sure that this is the square value. Now I want to do the addition operation for list1 and list2. So I'll do this, and I wanted to show inside list3, or save inside the list3. So I have given list1 plus list2. Now it is done. Now guess that what could be the value. I'm sure that you know the answer. Once I have executed, let's see. It has not done the addition operation. Addition in the sense, like 1 and 1 should be added, 2 and 4 should be added, 3 and 9 should be added. So the adjacent position of this value should be added. But in this case, it has just concatenated. In the programming we say that it is just has it concatenated. It means first it has written 1 2 3, 1 2 3 is written, and thereafter it has just added 1 4 and 9. You can check over here, it shows 1 4 and 9. So it is not doing or fulfilling my purpose. So in that case also we use this NumPy. So how to do that NumPy? We have used this import NumPy as NP. We have done that, import NumPy as NP. And then what we'll do, if we use this list1 as a L2, and we'll just write np dot array, okay, and make it as a list1. Now we'll make another one is L3, which is np dot array, and that is list2. If we want to do the calculations adjacent by or any kind of calculations, so in that case we have to make sure that it should be a NumPy array, okay, then only calculation should be done. So I have done that, it is executed. Now let's see the result. L4 I'll make, and I wanted to add this L2 and L3. It is done. Now if I'll check the L4, because we have added inside this L4, right? This is not 14, this is L4. You can make this as L4 also, okay? So once we execute this, you can see this. For list 1, L2 and L3 has been added, and 1 and 1 has been added, so it becomes 2. 2 and 4 has been added, it becomes 6. 3 and 9 has been added, it becomes 12. So the addition, adjacent addition, adjacent multiplications, adjacent division, we can perform using this numpy array only, and using this simple Python data like values, we cannot use this. Okay, so that's the reason. And for faster computation also, if you want, we have to use this numpy. So that's the reason we are using this numpy. So I'm sure like you understand why we need numpy. Let's say if we have this value 123 and 149, and you wanted to divide these values individually, so in this case you can understand in this way, it would be very useful. We know that in mathematics, distance is equal to speed into time. Okay, this is the formula. And you have speed is available with you, and there are three person, those who are driving a bike, and their speeds are respectively 12 kilometer per hour. I'm sorry, 12 kilo per hour. Another person's speed is 13 kilometer per hour, and the third person's speed is 10 kilometer per hour. And then how much time they have taken? So let's say they have taken 2 hours, 3 hours, and 4 hours. Now if we want to calculate this distance, okay, distance is nothing but what we have to do, speed into time we have to write. Once we do that, see here, okay, and see here, name. Whenever you get any kind of error, please make sure that check this, and you'll be able to find that. So it shows name error, name speed is not defined. If it is not defined, that means we have done something wrong. So here we have to write speed into time. Now we execute, still it has given some error. You can see over here, type error, can't multiply sequence by non-integer of type list. So in this operations also, we are unable to perform any kind of operations. So here numpy would help us. See here, what we have to do, we have to use np.array. That means we are telling that this is numpy, and consider this as a array, and never forget to mention this parenthesis open and parenthesis close, and then inside this we have to use this square bracket, and as usual we can give the values. Here also what we have to write, we have to write np.array, then we have to close inside this parenthesis. Now if we'll calculate distance is equal to speed into time, does it show? Hooray, see here, it has calculated the distance. Now if we'll check this distance, see here, 12 into 2, that becomes 24. 13 into 4, that becomes, sorry, 13 into 3, that becomes 39, and 10 into 4, that becomes 40. So it has fulfilled our goal, right? It has calculated the distance using this formula like speed into time. So in this case, numpy is used. So if you'll ask why numpy is used, you can quickly say numpy is and if you'll ask numpy, numpy stands for numerical Python. Okay, it stands for numerical Python. It solves the mathematical computation very easily. Okay, so now we understand about the numpy. Now we'll go for the matplotlib. So the matplotlib is this is just an intro about the numpy and matplotlib, and we have already seen the pandas also. So here matplotlib, we'll see, we have already loaded this matplotlib over here. Did we load or not? No, I think we have not loaded. Okay, no problem. So here we'll load this, import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. So we have loaded that, and here always write this matplotlib.pyplot, because inside matplot is a library. Inside this pyplot is there, and then we are calling this matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Okay, so next time onwards we need not to call this complete 17 or 18 letters available, where we can use only these 3 letters and it would be easy to draw anything. Now let's say if I want to plot some diagram. Okay, so the L1 and L2 we have created earlier, right? L1 and L2 we have created. We can use this example only. Okay, list 1 and list 2, consider this list 1 and list 2. So if I want to draw a scatter plot, let's see, I'll show you in this one. If we have two values, okay, if we have two values, one is list 1, once given the list 1, so this list has three values, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and we have another list 2. Once we have executed, it has three values, 1, 4 and 9. So I want to plot, I want to keep this list 1 values in x-axis and list 2 values in y-axis, and I wanted to go for a dot. So I'm sure you have seen the scatter plot, and we'll show you. So what we have to write, we have to just write plt dot scatter, and thereafter in place of x, which list value we have to keep, list 1. In place of y, which value we have to keep, we have to keep list 2. Once we execute this, now you can see over here, this is 1, and the respective value for 1 is 1. Okay, for 2 the respective value is 4. Let's say these are the exact square of their values. Okay, so for 1, square value of 1 is 1 only. For 2, the square value is 4. For 3, let's see, 3, yeah, it's 3 is there. So let's see, 3 is there. So 3's square value is nothing but 9. So it will show the coordinates of x and y. This is nothing but the scatter plot, and we'll also discuss all kind of plots in detail further. This is the scatter plot. Now if we want to just join the lines, sometimes we have to use the line, right? So instead of this scatter, or we can write here plt dot plot, instead of in place of x, which we want to keep, list 1. In place of y, which value we want to keep, list 2. Once we execute this, now you can see here, this will draw the line. So it would be shown like this, and there are 100 values, the 100 ways are there, which will, you know, show different types of plots and all. You can see here it has drawn the line. Earlier line was not there, and this time line is there. So I'm sure now you have understand why numpy is used. So numpy is used for the numerical computation, and it solves the mathematical computations very easily. And matplotlib is used for the visualization. So you have already seen how to visualize the data over here. Okay, so that's it for today's session, and this tutorial is 6th tutorial. You can just practice